What's going on? It's Jamar here, Vegas Sense. Got a brand new video. This is going to be a review video, and it's going to be my review of another Nishane fragrance, and it goes by the name of Wulong Cha. All right. So Wulong Cha is pretty much it's like a tea, citrus, and fig-based fragrance. So it's really fresh, really citrusy, kind of fruity, but at the same time, it sort of has like a green element to it as well. And excuse me, this is the box that the fragrance comes in. All right. So you can see here on the front of the box, you have the name of the fragrance, Wulong Cha, at the top, Nishane in the middle, and then the concentration, Extrait de Parfum, at the bottom. On the side here, we've got all these different characters. I want to say that this fragrance is a part of like the whole Shadow Play series. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I definitely need to double check that. But I believe that that's what this whole thing is in relation to. Nothing on the tops or the bottoms of the box. Then on the side here, you have the Nishane emblem here. You've got the name of the fragrance and then the name of the company. And then on the back, you've got the fragrance name, the size of the bottle, obviously. And then you've got like all the different ingredients and stuff like that on the back of the box. So this is actually just a sleeve that comes off like this. And then this is the actual box itself. So you've got Nishane here, and the actual concentration down here at the bottom. And the fragrance slides out like that. All right. So this comes all the way out. And then here you have, it's like a little card that they give you. More so kind of like an envelope. Then you have the fragrance that sits in there, and that's how the bottle looks. And so pretty much what's inside of this card here is a little card that has the fragrance name, and this is actually, I guess, like it's a postcard. So you can see that there, but it has the fragrance name on here. It's got some of the ingredients pictured here. As far as the fragrance goes, you've got like a bunch of like Asian writing here at the top, and then down here at the bottom you've got Wulong Cha, and then you've got the notes. So you can see here in the top notes you have bergamot, orange, litsi, and mandarin. In the middle notes you have oolong tea and nutmeg, and then in the base you have musk and fig. So just like I mentioned, you know, this is like a really fresh, citrusy, kind of fruity type of fragrance. And I would say that this is definitely, it's a good spring scent, but I would say that this is probably even better for like summer, like really high heat situations. And I say that because even though this is like a, you know, really citrusy, fresh, and also fig type of fragrance, this really has good performance. It really does. It comes off really strong when you first spray it on in the initial spray. And even just smelling this off of the cap, you can smell that this really smells like super concentrated and super strong, just like how, you know, the strength is with like Hachivat. You know, Hachivat, that fragrance, you know, as soon as you spray it, you know, it can fill up an entire room. That's how strong it is. This is the same way. I really enjoy this a lot. The oolong tea in this is really potent. I get like a really good dose of like that mandarin orange that's in this as well. That really comes out when you first spray it on. I'm just gonna spray some on my hand here. Yeah, when you first spray this on, you get just this super blast of the citrus, um, of the citruses, and I mean, right away, also, you do sort of get like that tea note as well. So it's not something that you have to kind of wait, for it to kind of come in. That tea note definitely, you smell it right off the cuff as soon as you spray this. So that's one of the things that I like about this as well is the tea note. You get it pretty much from start to finish, I would say, for the most part with this fragrance. Now, once this starts to settle down, then that's when you start to get kind of like a musky sort of fig note that comes in. And that fig note kind of gives this fragrance like a sort of greenness to it. It's not like super, super green. But I would say that the fig that you get from this is probably like a mixture of like the actual fig fruit and maybe some of like the fig leaf as well. So, I'm gonna say that if you're a fan of, like citrusy, fresh type fragrances that actually last a long time and project really well, this is definitely a no-brainer for you. Now, the pricing on this, I think is decent. I was able to pick this up from Lucky Scent for $175 shipped. Okay, so that's up there, especially for just a 50 ml bottle. But I think I'm willing to pay, extra premium for these Nishane fragrances. So far, every Nishane fragrance that I've smelled, which I haven't smelled a lot of their fragrances, I've only smelled maybe 3 of them or so, but each one that I've smelled, they've been unique, they've performed really well. And even the one fragrance that I have smelled that I didn't like, which was Fan Your Flames, I didn't necessarily care for that fragrance, but I can definitely see how that fragrance could be liked by some other people. And it definitely, I would say, is worth at least maybe $200. All of their fragrances that I've smelled definitely smell, on the higher upper echelon as far as like niche fragrances go. So I would say definitely if you're a fan of the Nishane brand, but you haven't smelled this particular fragrance, which I feel like there's not really a lot of information out there about this fragrance. There's not too many reviews for it on YouTube. It doesn't really get mentioned in anybody's list whenever they do list. And I've even seen people do Nishane, top Nishane lists and didn't mention this fragrance. So I think that's a shame because this is really a hidden gem, I would say, within their collection. Again, I haven't smelled all of their fragrances, but this one so far, for it to be such a, fruity, citrusy type of scent, it has really, really good performance. Like I said, again, when you first spray this on, projection, I would say, is at least about an arm's length or so for at least about an hour to an hour and a half. And then it does definitely settle down a bit, but this is one that definitely lingers around with you all day long. And especially if you spray this on your clothes, if you spray this on your clothes, this is gonna last pretty much, I would say, even going into the next day. And that's how all of their fragrances are that I've smelled anyway. They're definitely fragrances that if you spray them on your clothes, they will definitely stick around, until the next day. All right. So times to wear this particular fragrance, I would say this is absolutely a daytime fragrance. Definitely daytime, when it's sunny outside, when it's hot. This could definitely be a fragrance that you could wear to work, because I don't think that it's so strong that it would be offensive at work unless you oversprayed it. So I would say, you know, maybe if you're going to work, do about 2 to 3 sprays. Any other time, I would say maybe do about 5 or 6 or so, or about, you know, maybe around 5, I would say max. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that could be worn, I would say, formally, casually, and just really whenever. I really don't see any situation where you couldn't wear this other than wearing it pretty much at night. This is definitely a little bit too bright, I would say, a fragrance to wear at night. And I wouldn't wear this in cold weather either. It does still project a little bit when it's cooler, but this definitely does its best in warm weather, all right? So overall, what am I gonna give this particular fragrance? Overall, I'll give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is really, really good juice. I almost sort of prefer this over Hachivat a little bit, just a little bit. I still love my Hachivat, but this is really, really, really good. But at the same time, again, like I said, you do have to be one of those people that like tea, because that's, again, the main player in this fragrance. I happen to love tea fragrances. So if you like tea fragrances, you're absolutely gonna love Wulong Cha, all right? So that's Jamar here, Vegas Sense. I'll see y'all in the next video.